as we have been discussing about the obstacles and how to handle them. There were 7 methods. And finally, the mind must come under my control. Sutra number 4040. So when mind comes under my control, whether mind is dwelling upon a tiny subject matter or a big concept, whether it is dwelling upon a small tiny object or it is dwelling upon the entire universe, mind must not fluctuate. It must have the power of stabilization, so that I am able to stabilize my mind and my mind comes under control. So that was being discussed in the last class in details. So while discussing, we were supposed to discuss about samapatti. It's a very beautiful topic to discuss, but however, let us now discuss, let us read, then we can go ahead. Kshenabhrutehe avijataseva manehe grahitur grahanagraheshu tatat gyan tadan I understand tat sthata danjanata samapatihi. When I discuss this particular point, where is the other book? I lost it somewhere. Okay, doesn't matter. Now we need to see how this is samapatti plays a big role. We all are aware of this is samapatti. In a simple format, we learn things through samapatti. I'm not explaining the word samapatti, okay? That's why you have to understand situation now. How? Whenever you are learning something new, whenever it is, maybe, makes no difference. Like the example here will come called cow. So the moment the word cow is being talked, so there is a word. So with this sound, cow, so there are certain descriptions, artha meaning, sabda means the sound, and its description is meaning. Now what happens to you? You associate your mind with the description of the cow in your mind. Correct or not? The moment we say cow, what happens to you? Now the description that you have got, whether it's good or bad, healthy or unhealthy, it's up to you, okay? Now those descriptions starts moving in your mind, and through the word cow you can associate yourself the gross cow or with the subtle cow, the concept of cow. Correct? That is how we all learn in our life. A for apple. So A for apple, a apple picture is being shown. The sound apple and the picture apple starts getting joining with the mind. And that is how the whole education system, that's why present day education system doesn't help children, in fact destroys children. Because behind that education system there is agenda. How? General word we use called samapatti. Here the samapatti means the mind is engrossed, the engrossment. In fact, this is what the mind, the samapatti leads to samadhi. So how? Let us read very carefully what he talks nicely. Kshinaha brutti. So the brutti means the thoughts which were stronger. So why it was stronger? Mainly because of my raga and dvesha. So a thought becomes stronger in me, not because of anything, because of my likes and dislikes. And these likes and dislikes are related to what? Related to rajas and tamas. Because I can have my likes and dislikes, but if my likes and dislikes are related to sattva, definitely that thoughts or those thoughts will not make me crazy. So here he says when the thought is a predominant, when the thought is stronger in me, and according to the thought, when situation doesn't arise, people do not cooperate, things do not move, then what happens? There is fluctuation in my mind. There are crashes. Fluctuation is nothing crash, okay? It's like exactly in flight when you go, and that too in Indian flight, and if you have got small aircraft. Imagine just a small aircraft and in monsoon time, 2 hours, 3 hours flight. Chennai, you are flying to Delhi. So first 1 hour you will enjoy. Then after that, because of monsoon, and a small aircraft, and you happens to be end. I don't know whether you have experienced this or not. When it goes up, down, up, down. So literally you have to keep your heart outside. That's why I say, those who are flying for the first time, never they ever make them to fly in monsoon time. They'll have very bad experience in their whole life. So, coming back. I don't know why I stressed this way. So, here, how this fluctuation happens, this is called fluctuation, okay? The pilot is not able to negotiate, goes up, down, up, down. What can the pilot do? So also, my mind fluctuates between my likes and dislikes and the present situation. One side present situation, other side my likes and dislikes. I don't want to give up my likes and dislikes, nor I can change this present scenario. Then third option is what? Many people do it. They run away or they escape. Divert. How? He says it's not like that. Kshinaha brutehe. So when these thoughts starts weakening, starts losing its strength. So now question may arise, how will it lose its strength. Because in order to lose its strength, you need abhyasa, vairagya, these two. So abhyasa means practice. We started from the beginning, okay? And vairagya, dispassion. Continuity, whatever you are doing it, not once in a while, once in a blue moon, or according to your convenient. If you have to get up morning, 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever, get up 6 o'clock. No, today is a holiday, 7 o'clock. So tomorrow is a personal holiday, 7 o'clock. You understand? Next day is optional holiday, 8 o'clock. It doesn't work. However, says beautifully, abhyasa vairagya, because of continuity and because of that reason there is vairagyam, of course backed up by knowledge, both dispassion. Then what happens? This rajas and tamas becomes weaker. So when this rajas and tamas become weaker, now definitely sattvaguna becomes predominant. And because of that reason, you will discover slowly now this chitta, the mind, becomes stronger. And he gives an example, manehe eva. So he says, look, what is that of money? Abhijata money. So abhijata money means how a crystal is being kept in one place, and based on the adjacent color or object, the color of the crystal changes. If there is a red cloth next to crystal, you will call as ruby. If it is blue color, they in English say nilam, blue sapphire, something they say. So all these things, okay, because I am sorry, I do not know, because ladies, they know better, okay. Each things they know very well. Wow, this is not good, this is not right. We can talk in a lot. And of course, there are people to fool them, okay. So that is that area. So what I am highlighting here is how this crystal, when comes in contact with the object, picks up the color of that object, and grossly it appears. So also the mind. So mind can pick up the grossness of object, also the subtle aspect of object, both. So that's why we say very carefully that allowing one's mind to any object or anything leads to two types of complications. One is physical complication, other one is mental complications. Now, while looking at this, says, look, there is grahita, grahana and grahya. So grahita means the one who recognizes, cognizer. And of course, grahya means the object of cognition. And finally, called grahanam, the instrument of cognition. Now, here it says, look, now when there is dwelling upon tat tat staha, stata. Now, when a person starts dwelling upon whether it's an object of cognition or the cognizer or the instrument of cognition or put together all the three. Now, based on that, mind takes a shape. And that shape is called samapati, what in English we call as engrossment. So this is Sutra very carefully talks. When we look at this mind, here, generally mind keeps fluctuating. Mind is not engrossed. That's why sometimes we use the word, especially in negative sense, that when you call a person does not listen to, because the person is thinking something or person is somewhere, what we say? Why are you engrossed? What's happening to you? And present example is present day children are more engrossed in the phone than their study. And they have got excuse, I am studying through the phone. Okay, this is really beautiful excuse nowadays, okay? Mama, Papa, I am studying through phone. What are you studying? No, I am looking, checking the WhatsApp group. What message has come from the school? What a disaster nowadays, okay? Anyway, so here is being said that mind commonly used to fluctuate, to jump from one to another, but not able to dwell upon anything for a length of time. So the first thing is to come to this stage, because we have talked about the 7 types of preparations earlier classes. Starting with Ishvara Pranidhana, bringing Ishvaraha in one's own life, or you do pranayama, or you develop Maitri, Karuna, etc. Or you dwell upon different places to handle the craving of anything that you have. Or you start dwelling upon your ragas. Or finally comes, you can dwell upon whatever is dearer to you, whether it's a moon, whether on any other things, so that your mind calms down. So in short, for a yogi, this is the minimum qualification, that the person must be able to dwell upon any object for a length of time. That's why we practice very carefully, as I highlight all the time, called asana suddhi. So asana suddhi means first purifying, then comes asana siddhi. When you are able to be in one posture more than 45 minutes, then only you have accomplished that posture, including savasana, remember. I am not telling you jokes. It is easier to sit down in sukhasana or padmasana for 45 minutes. Absolutely no problem. But it's not that easy to be in savasana for 45 minutes. I have tried, to be very honest, savasana, after some time I sleep off. So when I sleep off, I do not know what happened to me, whether body is hook or not, or I started dreaming or snoring, God knows what I did, okay? So this is my problem, that's why I am sharing openly. Whereas in Sukhasana, you can have control. So that's why, to make it very clear, that to come across this stage called samapatti, you need to have asana siddhi to make sure that your body is not fluctuating, shaking, moving unnecessarily. Can you see this point? That's why we had a culture. When we sit in front of any elderly person, of course, Guru is another level. We don't shake ourselves. Like, nowadays in yoga, people attending classes, you understand? As though they will not have any pain anytime. The moment they come to class seminars, this is what happens, you understand? And some people, all sort of funny expressions you will see. And every now and then changing postures. So these are not healthy at all. This is not going to lead a person in yoga at all. Please understand very carefully. Because when we are talking, because I will be talking samapatti, there are 4 types. 4 sutras are there, okay? So that's why first I need to develop asana siddhi. Sitting in a one posture for minimum 45 minutes. Minimum, okay? It can be 1 hour, it can be 2 hours, it can be 3 hours. This is to be practiced first. Then only you will be able to understand what I am talking. Because mind must not fluctuate. As you know, unless there is a sec in my mind, there cannot be any movement externally. Do you agree or not? Unless there is some type of shaking, some type of fluctuation in my mind, can there be any fluctuation externally? Psychologists highlight there are many aspects. For example, even if I am touching the nose like this, psychologist will find out why did Swamiji touch this. There is a pattern. Like, there are people suddenly they laugh unproportionally to a situation. You can smile, you can laugh proportional to the situation, nothing wrong in it. Proportional to the joke, nothing wrong in it. Unproportionally they laugh loudly or whatever. So the psychologist highlight, because the person has suppressed a lot and little bit chance comes, loosens one's own self, for small thing starts laughing loud. This is a beautiful observation. You can see for yourself. So in short, the language we create through our body, this is called body language. I am shaking my hand and talking. All these movements has its own connection with my mind. Like especially ladies' case, they say very nicely. Of course, men case also we can look at. Ladies' case, they say like, a lady changes her mind. How to know? When you discover the lady changes the hairstyle. A lot of psychological issues are there, okay? If a lady starts changing the hairstyle, that means there is some big change in the lady. Be careful, okay? Be alert. So for a man, oh wow, nice, so looks so beautiful, good. Oh, for a change. It's not a change, remember. Already a lot of change has happened already. It is not for a change. Joke apart. So in us, if there is any change physically while talking, Even if you look at yourself, how you talk, each of your talk, it has its pattern, including me. That pattern has a thinking pattern behind. And unless the thinking pattern changes, you will discover this external pattern will not change or will not move smoothly either. Is it clear? You can observe this point. That's why we understand people through body language. If a person talks through the left hand, right hand, even though cultural practices are there differently, no doubt in it, still in that also you can understand a lot how the person communicates. So in short, I am trying to highlight, to arrive at samapatti means where the mind is free from fluctuation, where mind is able to dwell upon a object for a length of time. That can be the cognizer, enemy. It can be object of cognition, any object, or also it can be the process, the instrument. Grahya, grahita, grahanam. So that means when I start dwelling upon anything, I must be able to dwell upon a length of time. That's why one of the trick was being highlighted, japam. So whether you do japa, whether you do pranayama, whether you do puja, bring Ishvara, or you start dwelling upon any object, so any portion of your body, mainly whether tip of the nose or tip of the tongue or middle portion of the tongue or bottom of the tongue or the palatal, or you dwell upon your whatever you like, in short. Remember, all these things really helps you to work with yourself so that you are not fluctuating or there is no jerk in you unnecessarily. Because if in me there is a jerk unnecessarily, remember, I may have everything, but I will not enjoy my life. People think, this is how I look at people mentality. People think if you have everything, then only you can enjoy. It's not like that. In fact, you don't need anything to enjoy except you and your mind. When your mind is with yourself, you enjoy everything in spite of anything. Sorry. It is exactly, tell me, which weather, in what is the best weather you can enjoy? Tell me. Nothing like, whole day, 22 degree. 20 to 22 degree, including night. Wow, what a beautiful weather. Just you need a small shawl, cover yourself. Like, Chennai Margli, okay? Chennai January, okay? Wow, what a beautiful weather. Imagine, during that time, if you have COVID or fever, will you enjoy? If your health is good, even if, Agni Nakshatra means one particular duration of time where it is like fire, okay, falls. If your health is good, Agni Nakshatra also you will enjoy. If you look at, especially in Chennai, during Agni Nakshatra time also, people travel in the lorry, that to carrying the stones or sand, happily sleeping. You going by car, your AC doesn't work, okay? You start complaining AC. And if you look at, when you look at the fellow on the top, happily sleeping. What can you say there? So there, the person and mind to be together. Can you see this point? If you start cursing yourself, oh, this is not there, look, if that fellow curses there, I should not travel this thing, I don't have anything, look, this fellow is going behind car, or driver is driving inside, I am don't have any place, now I am on the hot sun. Will the person be able to sleep, enjoy? So what I am highlighting here is, in order to enjoy, you don't need anything, but you need your mind to be with you. Remember this point. This is called samapatti, the first stage to understand, to have understanding. If I can make my mind to be with me, that's why once in a while you can give a lollipop to the mind. Nothing wrong in it. You cannot hit your mind all the time. You must give lollipop once in a while. But if the mind is such, instead of lollipop, will keep asking, first lollipop, then granita, then this, that, all these things. Mamma mia. You understand? It keeps asking more and more. That means destruction starts for one's own self. So this is samapatti to develop. I need to follow any one of them that we discussed before. And possibly we can follow all also. All 7 can be followed, absolutely no problem. But without following, without spending time on previous 7 aspects, preparatory steps, remember, this samapatti will never happen in my life. And if my mind is not free from fluctuations, if the likes and dislikes are not weaker, they have not been weakened up yet, still they are stronger, that means whatever I have with me has no value. In fact, they will create more problem, more frustration. That's why you can see a person who is poor has less frustration. Whereas a person who is rich having more frustration or not. Because of this reason. It is like, you are in the highway, you are in a small car. You cannot drive fast because your car doesn't permit. If you go above 100, your car starts shaking. So you have your limitations, whether you like it or not. You will never go to left track if it is Europe, if it is India or America, India or any other country, British oriented country, you will never go to your right track. So either you will be in right side in Europe or you will be left side in British oriented countries. Because you will never go to the main lane. Because your vehicle will not permit. Even if everybody passes by. But if you have a car which can go, 200, 250 easily, what will happen to you? And you discover in the front there is some traffic, nothing is happening. Will you get agitated or not? So what I am highlighting here is, the whole preparation is to weaken my likes and dislikes. To make sure that I am doing something through that my likes and dislikes are becoming weaker and weaker. But the problem with many of us, when we work or we don't work is another point. Even if those who work to weaken their likes and dislikes, unknowingly, they strengthen their ego. That becomes more dangerous. That's why This is preparation required. Now let us go to the sutra, or else okay. Now we'll be discussing these four sutras, but I can talk four sutras being talked differently, which is being talked called Savitarka, Nivitarka, Savichara, Nirvichara. These four words in four sutras, okay? Sutra 1, 2, 3, 4 you'll get. So I can give you outline so that we can see the four sutras in the next class quicker. So first is called Savitarka. So when you talk about Savitarka, first of all, we need to understand few things very carefully. That how this happens. Now it says beautifully. Now, as I was looking at carefully, okay, good. Let us look at what it talks, then I can go little differently later on. Wow. Okay. The first stage is called Savitarka. Savitarka. So when it talks about Savitarka, you can see this word also. Okay, I think word we'll discuss next class, because in sutra itself we'll talk. So let us not get into. So just I am giving you now how the mind is being engrossed. Here mind is mixed up with the word and its meaning. That means the object and its cognition. For example, cow. So that means what? What could be the nature of the object? It has to be gross. That's why grahya and grahanam, the cognizer and the instrument of cognition, can be dwelt upon. So that means Savitarka Samapatti is nothing, but it is concentration on gross objects with the help of words. Okay? So engrossment, now I hope you understand. Samapatti means the habituated state of engrossment of mind. Samapatti, the habituated state of engrossment of mind because of contemplation. Now, this is beautifully. The next one would be called subtle aspect. So subtle aspect means where the word and its meaning are involved. But here what happens? Three things are involved. In the previous it was grahya grahanam. Grahya grahanam means the knowledge, the object of knowledge and the instrument. But here in subtle aspect, grahya, grahana and grahita. The cognition, the object of cognition, then instrument of cognition and the recognizer, the cognizer. Three are involved. And that is called Savichara Samapatti. Savichara. Don't worry, one sutra is coming, okay? Just giving the outline of the sutra. So in Savichara, so that means what happens? In Savitarka, you start concentrating on gross object with the help of the words. Whereas, with reference to Savichara, There is concentration on subtle objects, because earlier it was concentration on gross objects. Now here concentration on subtle objects. This is the difference. That's why it says what? Savitarka, then called Savichara. Then let us go to third one, is called Nirvitarka. Nivitarka. So in Nivitarka, first of all, you need to have a purified mind. This samapatti to take place, this sort of engrossment to take place, one need to develop what? A purification. So purified mind. And because of this reason, mind is what? Free from words. And of course, because of that reason, the object by itself is present. We'll be seeing the examples in details as it comes. So here in the gross level comes Nirvitarka. Being gross, Grahya Grahita. So Grahya means the object of cognition. And Grahanam, no Grahita Grahita. Grahya Grahanam. Grahana means the object of cognition. Made a mistake. Grahya is object of cognition. Grahana means instrument of cognition. Grahya, Grahanam, two are there, being gross. Now here what happens? Concentration on the gross object without the help of words. In the beginning, Savitarka was gross, concentrating on the gross object with the help of the words. Savichara becomes concentration on subtle objects with the help of words. Whereas Nivirtaka becomes concentration on gross object without the help of words. That's why purification of mind comes. Then final one comes called Nirvichara. So Nirvichara means where again subtle aspect, Grahya, Grahana and Grahita, three are involved. Where one concentrated on subtle objects without the help of words. Means how? He says beautifully, even if there is no eye sense. Because only the person, only that asmita rupaha, that is the eye sense, pure eye sense only is there. So that only will lead. So this samapatti, nirvichara samapatti will lead to samadhi. You understand? This nirvichara will lead to samadhi. Why and how? To understand this, of course, we will be talking in details in the next class. That how this happens. Mind sometimes dwell upon the gross object, subtle object. Then you will discover dwells upon the meaning of the sound. Then you will discover it will not there at all. This stages comes when I manage to weaken my likes and dislikes. Or else what will happen is, Yoga Sutra is another philosophy. Wow, excellent, excellent, excellent. Like, all this, like I remember long back with this joke, I should stop it. So there was a person, I don't want to bring that name. So he used to eat lot of chips, lot of things you cannot think of. And he became a yoga teacher. So we asked him, what is this thing? And day by day he became fatter. And he said, look, I am a yoga instructor. I am not a yoga practitioner. I instruct, others should follow. There is no need for me to practice. I instruct. And I know how to instruct. So instructor has nothing to do with eating or not eating. And in fact, we gave his name, it's called Bhojanananda, okay? The one who is happy with reference to food, okay? So we used to call him, hey, Bhojanananda, please don't call like this. I said, what else to do? And if he's lying down, we'll call him, hey, chips is there, Coke is there. Oh, really? And he'll wake up. Please understand. For this Yoga Sutra understanding, I need to spend some time. That's why I request all of you, at least some time in your day, spend for yourself. To start with half an hour to 45 minutes. Whether it can be in the morning, if you are busy morning you cannot, before going to bed evening. If you cannot, daytime sometime. Minimum 45 minutes, shut your mind. Shut all your doors. Doors means all these eyes, okay? Eyes, ears. Shut your door 45 minutes in a day. And remember, that 45 minutes is yours. All other things that you do is not for you. You are doing it for your ahankar. You understand? Thank you very much. More of it we'll see from Himalayas after the announcement. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.